Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm showing you how to make this super cute basket handle bracelet. This was created by Garamanic_cosplays on Instagram. Her name is Gabrielle, and I'm going to put her Instagram page right here so you can check her out. She's recently been making so many of her own new designs. I love so many of them. You will definitely be seeing more on my channel, but if you want a preview of most of them, you can go ahead and check them out on her page. So this one here is a reversible design. I think it is super cute. I didn't make it quite long enough, so I did have to add a little extension on it. But in the video today, you will also need to make an extension at the end. But if you want to know how to make a full length one, I'll tell you how far down the loom to go. For today's purpose, you will need approximately 156 bands, and you also need about 15 extension bands. The breakdown is 32 of the gold that's on the side, 24 of the sparkle purple. You'll need 24 of the sparkle clear. I'm actually going to use blue there. You will need 10 of the gold that sits in the center, 44 of the side white, and 22 of the yellow. I will also have the band breakdown for a full length bracelet in the box below if you need that. But don't forget, you also need your hook, one C-clip, and I will show you the loom setup. To make this bracelet, you will need to have 5 bars total. But if you do want to make like a longer bracelet or a full length one, you'll need another set of 5 connected in front of this one. If you're just following me today, you will need to make an extension at the end so that it will fit you. This one is just a single chain, but I would recommend a fishtail. Hopefully everyone knows how to make an extension because I will not be showing it in the video today, but I'll link a few videos down below that I have done an extension with if you don't know how to do that. Okay, so you do need to make sure that your loom is set up like mine, and that is going to be the 3 bars aligned in the middle, and then the outer ones are just staggered down 1. So make sure your loom looks like that. Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to do is lay the gold bands that are on the sides right here. I'm doing this exact color combination, except I'm going to use blue where that clear is, just so you guys can see it more. But to get started, we're going to lay 1 in the center for closing it. And then we'll go from that center out to the left and to the right. We're going to go out to the left and the right again. Like so. And now we just need to go down the sides. We're going to lay it going straight. I'm just going to do the right side first. And for the loom length that I'm doing today, I'm only laying 11 straight ones here on the side. If you're using a longer setup or trying to make a full length one, you're going to lay 24 straight ones. So once you have either laid 11 or 24, it's going to bring us down here to this pin. We're going to bring it into the center. Like that. We're not going to bring it in again to connect to the middle, which is what I normally do, but we're not going to do that. So make sure you stop right there. We're going to come back to the beginning, and you're going to do the same thing on the left side. So go ahead and get that laid just like you did the right side. It will look like that once you have it laid. Remember, do not bring it in to connect to the center. So we're going to come back to the beginning. We're going to pick our next colors. The first color that we're going to lay, because we're going to be laying 2, but the first one is going to be the purple here. And then the second color I lay is going to be this clear one, but I'm going to use glow in the dark blue. So we'll start with the purple. And we're going to lay an upside down V, starting from the second pin from the center, do a diagonal stretch to the middle, and do the same from the right side. Go ahead and grab that second color, and that's what I'm using that blue on. And from the pins here, where we started the upside down V, we're just going to lay a straight blue band like so. These are the 2 colors we're going to alternate down for right now. So we'll go back to laying that upside down V, and we just start where we ended the blue. We'll grab our second color again and lay the straight ones on the center sides. Grab my purple again. And then my blue again. So we will alternate this until we reach the end of our loom. Okay, so once you're caught up, this is what it would look like at the end of the loom, regardless of how many loom sets you're using. So you can see I brought everything right down until the border bands meet. So you do want to go through and push these down a little bit before we lay our next color. So I did mine real quick, but this part is super easy. We're just going to be laying the center band that is the gold there in the center. And we're just going to lay that going straight up the middle. It's very, very easy. So from the center pin, just lay it straight and keep laying it straight until you reach the very end of your loom. I like to use the same color that I used on the side simply because we already have so many colors that we need to pick for this bracelet, and it just makes it easier in my mind. See how I reached the end like so? We'll come back to the beginning. And we're going to switch to our next color now. And this time you're going to want to make sure you also push down the side bands a little bit. We're going to be laying a bunch of zigzags, and that's going to be the white band. So for this, I do like to do one side at a time. Starting on this corner pin on the right, we're just going to go diagonally inwards. And then from there, we'll go out. And then we'll go back in. And then out. And we're just going to zigzag all the way down the loom. For this particular design, we are not going to lay one. The one that's supposed to technically be last, we're not going to lay. It just lays funky on the bracelet. So once we get down there, I will show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so I might be a little bit ahead of you, but this is what I mean. We technically should lay one more going inwards to that corner. We're not going to do that. Leave that empty. And then we are going to come back. And by the way, you do that regardless of how many looms you're using. Our looms will look identical. But we're going to come back to the beginning. You're going to do the same exact thing on the left side, starting from the corner, going diagonally in, and then out. And then keep on going in and out till you reach the end of your loom. So go ahead and get your left side completed, and I'll be right back. Okay, once again, I'm going to be a little bit ahead of you. Just want to remind you that we are not going to lay the last zigzag going inwards. So it should look like this on both sides. Now, I would highly recommend that you go through and make sure you push those side bands down. Also push the centers down because we have one more set of bands to lay, and we don't want them getting in the way. So this is where we're going to choose the yellow. We're going to be laying a bunch of horizontal bands running up, I consider it the center, but we're going to come up to the second pin up. I like to lay the left first, but we're going to lay a horizontal band connecting into the center, and the same on the right side. Just two straight bands in the middle. We're going to do that on every row. So I lay the left, then the right. The only spot you're not going to lay these is when you get to the very end of the loom. You will not lay it on top of the border. We're going to use our border color for that, or the gold rather. It's not technically a border, but I'll show you that once I get down there. Alrighty, so when you get down to the end of the loom, this is what I was talking about. We leave that very end row without the yellow. Then you're just going to go back to whatever color you used on the sides. And to close it off, we're just going to bring it in like this. While we're here, you might as well grab one more of your gold and place a regular cat band down here on the center pin. And that way you'll be ready to start the looping. This is what your loom will look like. You can turn it around and we are ready to loop. So to get started, we're going to go into the cat band and we're going to loop the golds back to themselves. So the first one will go to the left, the second one will go to the right. And then we're going to loop the 2 blue bands that are going straight on these pins. It doesn't really matter which side you do first, but you're grabbing the 3rd band down and just looping it forward on both of those. We do kind of loop this part all at the same time. So just pay attention. So after we loop the blue straight, we now need to loop the yellows, and they're going to be looped from these pins into the center. So I'm going to grab the yellow horizontal band, bring it into the middle, and do the same on the right. Now, for this part, see how I looped my left and then my right? Whatever side you do first, I would recommend that you always loop that same direction every time. So if you're always grabbing from the left first, do that all the way up. If you're always looping from the right first, do that all the way up. It just makes the end result look better. Now we need to move over to the pin next to it. And we're going to loop that white out. Normally we will have 2 to loop out, but this first row, there's just going to be 1. So we're going to grab that diagonal white, and that will just go back to itself. Do the same on the left side. We're going to come back down here to the cat band and loop up that gold that's in the middle, and that will go straight. We need to flip some of these bands that are on that center pin. So I'm going to turn my loom around for a second so you guys can see which bands I'm talking about. There's a total of 4 of these yellows. We need to grab the 2 bottommost yellows and flip them over. So I don't normally turn my loom around like this, but I just want you to see what it is that I'm grabbing. So I'm going to grab the second to last yellow first, flip that. And then I'm going to grab the very bottom yellow and flip that. So it's the 2 bottommost, whatever color you have that are your horizontal bands. You're grabbing the 2 bottommost bands of that and flip those over. The next time I do it, I will keep the loom this way. But I just want you to see what I'm grabbing. That is technically called the looming roach step. She or he was the first one that did that step like that. Once you flip those yellows, we're going to back up again and we need to loop the purple V's. So you're going to go into the cat band area and these are going to go back to themselves. So the first one will go to the left and the second will go to the right. So we're pretty much finished with that whole section and we're going to do that all over again. So the very first step will be looping our blues forward. There is a lot of steps to this design, so just take your time, follow along. After we loop them straight, we need to loop the yellows into the middle. So you're grabbing the second band down right here, bringing it into the middle, and doing the same on the right side. We now need to loop our whites out, so we're going to go into that same pin. This time we have 2 whites. So the first diagonal white will go down back to itself, and the second one will go up. We're going to come over to the left side and do the same thing. Loop the first one down and the second one up. They're all going back to their original pin. So now we're going to come down here to where our last set of yellows were looped, and we need to loop that straight gold band. So just make sure you're pushing it back enough to grab that gold and loop it forward. This is where we have to do that looming roach step and flip the 2 yellow bands. So I just go like this. You can see there's 2 yellows here and there's 2 yellows here. You need to grab the bottom band on each one. So I grab the left side first. Make sure you're only grabbing 1 of those bands. Flip that over. And then grab the second one on the right side. After you do the flipping, we need to back up again, go into this pin and loop the purples up. The first one will go to the left, and the second one will go to the right. We're going to start that all over again. So we start by going into this pin here, and we're going to loop the blue straight. Do the same on this side. We're going to loop the yellow in. Bring it to the center and do the same on the right. We need to loop our side whites. So remember there's 2 of them. You're just bringing them both back to their original pin. Do the same on the left side. We're going to come to the center pin here so we can loop our gold forward. We need to flip those yellow bands. So we're grabbing the second band down right here and flipping it. And the second band over here. The first one already gets caught. So you don't, really there's only one that you can grab after you flip the first one. I'm going to show you really quick what it looks like from the back. It's kind of hard to see, right? I believe I've done this step in a different video before, so hopefully it's not difficult for you guys. But after you flip that, we need to back up and loop the purples. These are our V bands. And we're ready to start that all over again. So we will loop our blue forward. We will loop our yellow into the center. We're going to come into that same pin and loop our whites. Do it on both sides. We need to come back down here to the center and loop our gold forward. You need to flip those 2 yellow bands one at a time. And then we're going to back up and loop the purple last. So we will loop our blue forward. If anyone feels like I'm going too slow, you could definitely fast forward it. Or the opposite, you could slow it down if you need me to go slower. We're going to loop our yellow in. We're going to loop our whites out. We're going to come back to the center pin and loop the gold forward. Flip our yellow bands. Remember there's 2 of them we're flipping. Then back up and loop your purple out. For now, I am just going to keep going and telling you guys verbally the steps just because I feel like there are a lot of them and I don't want anybody to get confused. So we're going to start that again. We will always start by looping our blue straight. We will loop the horizontal yellow to the middle. We will loop our side whites out. On both sides, that is. We need to come down here to the middle pin and loop up our gold. Just loop that forward. Flip the second yellow band down on both sides of the pin. Back up again and loop your purple lastly. Starting that again, we're going to loop our blue forward, loop our yellow to the middle, loop our whites out, we're going to come to the middle here and loop our gold forward, flip the second yellow band on both sides of the pin. Back up again and loop out our purple. Loop your blue forward. I'm starting again, by the way. Loop the yellow in. Loop our white out. Come to the middle and loop up our gold. Flip the second band, the yellow band on both sides, and then back up and loop up your purple. We have just a couple more to do, so keep following along with me, starting with your blues being looped forward, and then your yellow into the middle. Then loop your whites out. Then we need to come to the middle to loop up the gold. We're going to flip the second yellow band on both sides of the pin. Back up and do the purples. So we only have a couple more left. I'm just going to stay on camera and loop these up. Hopefully by now you guys know what to do, but if not, you can at least watch what I'm doing. Don't forget to flip your yellows, because that is the most common thing to forget to do. I'm starting again. I'm looping up my blues and then looping in my yellows. These are the last whites that I have to loop out on the sides. This is my last yellows that I have to flip. So I have one last section to do. We don't have quite as many steps to do on this last one, but we start as normal, looping the blue forward. Now we have to just go ahead and loop the gold forward because we have no more whites left to do. We also don't have any more yellows. So we loop the blue straight, the gold straight, and then we're going to loop the purple out. And that will be it for the center. Like that. Hopefully that wasn't too bad for you guys. So that's what it will be looking like. We're going to come back to the beginning. If you're using a longer loom set, just keep following my same instructions until you get to the top. Then we're going to come back down to the bottom, and we're going to work with the white bands for a second. We need to grab the bottom band of the white bands. There are a total of 4 of them. You're going to grab the 4th one down, and you're just going to flip it over like that. You're going to do that on every single one of them, just grabbing the bottom white band and flipping it over, and if you need to count, it's the 4th band down. We're going to do this on both the right side and the left side, and then once we're done that, we can continue finishing our border up. Now, the only one you will not do that on is this top one right here. Just leave that one alone. Go ahead and do the same thing on the left side, grabbing the 4th band down and flipping it. Do not flip anything on the very last one at the top, and I will meet you guys back here. Alrighty, so it will look like this one's both sides are matching. We're going to come back to the beginning to finish off our border. I'm going to do the right, actually I'm going to do the left side first so you can see it a little better. We're going to come into this pin right here, grab the gold and loop it to itself. We're going to go into that pin and loop the bottom gold forward. And now we need to do another flipping step with those white bands. You are going to be grabbing the bottom white band, again, just like we did before, but this time we have less white bands to work with. There are 3 white bands, but it's still the 4th band down if you're counting, including the gold and the 3 whites. You're grabbing the 4th band down right here and flipping that over. Then you will go into that pin and grab the bottom border, loop it up, and then you will grab your bottom white band again. Remember, if you're counting, you're grabbing the 4th band down. We're just going to alternate between looping the border up and flipping the 4th band down. Looping the border up and flipping the 4th band over. And we will do that all the way up the loom. You kind of have to like push your hook under the gold band in order to grab that white band. But just take your time. When you reach the top pin here, we're not going to do any flipping of the white band. We're just going to loop the gold up and then go in again and loop the gold in and loop the last gold to the very center. Like that. Come down here and we're going to do the same thing on the right side. We'll start in this pin, bringing the gold band to itself and then grabbing the bottom gold, looping it up. And remember to flip the bottom white band, which is the 4th band down. And we will alternate looping the gold and flipping the white, just like we did on the left side. Remember, when you get to the top of the loom, we do not have any white bands to flip. So I will meet you guys when I get up there. So just a reminder, when you get to the top, there's no white to flip over. Just go inside and loop the gold 2 times until you get it to the middle. Once you do that, oh, don't lose it like I did. Once you do that, you're going to reach down and grab that gold loose band that we set there at the beginning for closing. Reach down into the center, push everything out of the way, and then bring both ends together. You are either going to temporarily put a C-clip on or slide another hook through it until you get it off of the loom. If you need to make an extension, you will go ahead and do that now. I am not going to be doing one, but you can either use the auto loom, your hook, or 2 pins on the loom. I do, however, recommend that you use your hook to release all of the sides of this bracelet just to keep it looking nicer and less fixing. So once I get mine off of the loom, I will show you how it looks. So here mine is off of the loom. Always give it a good little stretch to help things fall into place. My piece is kind of small. I mean, it's a good size for just one loom setup, so that's why an extension works nice for this, but I do recommend a fishtail one. If you have any fixing to do, my printer's going to go off, sorry about that, but if you have any fixing to do, it would be the yellow bands. You might not mind them crossing like that, but if you do, you can just mess with them to get them to sit on top of each other like that. But that's it. That's really all you have to do. This is such a gorgeous bracelet. I love how this looks with the blue instead of the clear. But that is it, you guys. That is how you make this super cute basket handle bracelet created by Garamanic_cosplays on Instagram. I really want to thank Gabrielle for letting me do this tutorial. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to tag her and myself if you make one on Instagram. I know she would love to see them. I always love seeing them. But that will be it. That'll be it for today, you guys. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you really soon at my next tutorial. Thanks. Bye.